Hey, what's up you guys, it's IAmTheLionRider, and welcome back to another DLC season. And here we are discussing the Grasslands pack. So I thought I'd make a video to kind of discuss my thoughts on the pack. I'm sure a lot of you wanted to know that. And just talk about, the content that we're getting. So before I actually get into the pack, I just wanted to tell a little story, because before the live stream happened, before the trailer dropped or the forum post or anything, I specifically told my good buddy Leaf Productions the next pack is going to be a bloodbath in the community. People are going to be, and I just noticed it from Twilight and Conservation and Wetlands and stuff. This year has just been controversial pack after controversial pack. So I knew that whatever the December one was, it was going to be chaos. Now, I thought it was going to be chaos for a different reason. I was pretty much in the same boat as everyone else, thinking it was birds. And I just thought that the main issue with the bird pack was it wasn't going to satiate anyone. It wasn't going to be enough birds for the bird people. It wasn't going to be, people who wanted mammals wouldn't have any, and so I just thought that it was going to be controversial for a lot of reasons. Boy, was I wrong about what I had in store, because this is certainly out of left field. But not really, because I'll be honest, I saw this coming. I saw what Frontier has been doing lately, and I respect it, almost. They're trolling the community, and I love it. Because every single pack now gives us a little bit of what we want, and not in the way you want it. And because of that, it's always drummed up, noise. It's always been like, what the heck, Frontier? What is this? I didn't ask for the blue wildebeest. Where did this come from? Not a single soul asked for it, whatever. Where are the birds? Where's this? Where's the Tasmanian devil? You gave us another 2 Australia animals, but no Tasmanian devil. I love it. And it's pretty much good for the community, I think, because it's that kind of unanimous, like, where is this, that keeps the game alive. And I'm pretty sure Frontier knows this full well. I was saying how it's actually a good thing that we get a pack like Twilight or Grasslands or Wetlands, where it gives you some of what you wanted, but not everything. Because to me, that indicates immediately that the game is still well into its life cycle and it's not going to slow down. I think we still have minimum another year of DLC, probably more, because why else would they have been, giving us stuff like the armadillo or something instead of the things that would have indicated we're slowing down? If they just gave us a pack that was literally everything that people have been asking for. Here's the bird pack, and then the next pack after that is going to be, maned wolf, Tasmanian devil, a baboon, a porcupine, and some other stuff, whatever people wanted. If they just gave us all of that at once, that would indicate immediately to me this could be the last update. But now that they've opened this can of worms that, like, hey, yeah, we got the maned wolf, but, like, there's still no baboon, there's still no, tree kangaroo or Tasmanian devil, or, the people who wanted kiwi, the people who wanted, like, all of this stuff. It indicates to me immediately, like, okay, we're definitely getting, like, an islands pack of some kind, we're getting a tropical pack of some kind. We're good for a few DLCs, guys. Don't worry about that anymore. And so, I think it's a good thing. And so, what I love about this pack is just how out of the blue it was. It was just, because even the name Grasslands pack, right? When you really think about the animals in the pack, they don't really scream grassland across the board. So what are those animals? Let's hop over to the forum post to, like, look at what we're looking at, right? So the first animal is the 9-banded armadillo. That's the mascot animal, and gotta say, it is hands down the most gorgeous animal we've seen in the entire game so far. This thing is gorgeous. They have individual hairs, like, along the shell. They have it underneath the beard. Inside of the actual scale detail, they have individual smaller scales. This is by far the most high quality animal in a thing that's probably about the same size as the prairie dog. And that's really impressive to me. So this is going to be hands down like, at least visually, the most appealing animal I've ever seen. Now, the next thing, of course, is the maned wolf. So the maned wolf, I gotta say, visually, it looks pretty much exactly like Jen's mod. It's actually a little bit cleaner on the face. It's a little bit thinner, which is nice. But beyond that, it looks very similar to the mod. But I can't knock them for it because it is by far the most requested animal, save for the Tasmanian devil. So that made perfect sense. Next up, we have the emu. Again, I think the #1 bird. And that makes perfect sense. People wanted the emu. I think it's a good standalone bird, you know, similar to the crane. It was just... But I actually think it's better than the crane because people, you know, in general will use the emu. The crane was a bit specific, but I think this is a great animal, and I'm glad we have it. It looks great. Now, the remaining animals are interesting to me. So you have the blue wildebeest, right? Which I've seen that getting a lot of attention from why is this in the pack? As well as some of the other picks. So you have the caracal, the red-necked wallaby, or Bennett's wallaby, as it's more, you know, known in, like, at least the United States, and the striped hyena. I think all of these are good picks. I think they're all weird as a Grasslands pack. When a lot of people heard Grasslands pack, I think immediately they thought of what I had, which was, oh, this is going to be like an Africa pack, if anything, and it would have black rhino or honey badger or a olive baboon or something. That's what a Grasslands pack should have. Instead, it seems like they went with a more loose definition of, you know, Grasslands, because I would say some of these are blatantly just desert animals. Striped hyena is not really known for living in the grasslands. Spotted hyena, yeah, but striped hyena are more known in, like, the Middle East and stuff, and, like, almost bleeding into, like, you know, subsections of India and stuff. It's more of, like, you know, well, actually, I might be thinking of brown hyena, but I know striped hyena also live in the desert. But, you know, it kind of, like, you know, doesn't immediately scream grassland. Same thing, caracal, also similar in the striped hyena thing. It's almost as recognizable as a desert animal as a grassland animal. And some of these, like the, you know, wallaby and stuff, it's again a stretch to call Australia in general a grassland. There is grass, but it's, you know, it's sparse, you know, and they, you know, Australia's mostly desert, so I would say, and obviously the armadillo is in a similar boat. The Sonora Desert and parts of Mexico, closer to like a scrubland. So if this was called a drylands or a scrubland pack, I would have no issue. It's just the definition of grassland immediately elicits something like along the lines of blue wildebeest. So that's why I was like, okay, well, maned wolf and wildebeest, okay, but the rest are kind of, okay, it's more like a scrubland. But it's still a great pack. And so I think the big thing is this is not birds. This is not what people have been asking for. Now, what I would counter with, this is technically what everyone, maybe not asked for on, like, say, the meta wish list, but if you go on Nexus, nearly every single one of these is one of the top downloaded mods of all time. So, no one asked for the blue wildebeest, but Nexus shows that everyone likes the blue wildebeest. And similarly, everyone liked the caracal. Everyone really loved, like, obviously the maned wolf is, like, the #1, so that makes sense. And so you have to take that into account. I also think that could also be the fact that, you know, it's no secret that Jen's mods are some of the more popular ones, and Gaboy, and, spoiler alert, you know, you have Jen, Gaboy, Jen, you know, and then I think the rest are Leaf. So, all of these were mods already, and so it's just no secret that, yeah, maybe that is a thing they are looking at. And then, of course, the other thing that I totally neglected to mention, we're getting butterflies, of course. Weird for a Christmas DLC, but it's the first time we've gotten 5 new exhibit animals, so we have 5 butterflies. So you have the cloudless sulfur, the European peacock, the Manilos blue morpho, the monarch, and the old world swallowtail. So all, you know, we're going to get a good variety of butterflies. That's going to be great for modders if you want to make the rest of the butterflies. we can all do that now. And so I think that's a good like consolation for not having birds. And it kind of brings up a point that I think we might be getting birds in a way that is different from everyone assumed. So first thing, let's just quickly go through the trailer, officially, to just kind of look at some stuff I immediately noticed. First things first, we have a ton of new plants. Like, this is actually more of a nature pack, and if there's one thing I will say that this pack is going to deliver on, it's going to be the, I assume free, but general new foliage coming with this pack. We have a ton of new plants and grass types. Most of these, there's a couple of the drin grass pieces and stuff, but most of these pieces are brand new grass. There are brand new acacia trees, and there's a bunch of new flowers and stuff. You can see them better in some of the screenshots, but like you have some of the new flowers here. You can see like right there, and then like this screenshot just shows we have a bunch of new grass. There's a bunch of new grass types, so we can kind of like look at individual ones, but like at the end of the day, we're getting a ton of new plants. That is going to be, I think, a big draw of this pack, or at least this update. So animal-wise, I think it's best to look at the actual Steam page because we get better looks at the individual animals. So the maned wolf, like I said, already looks great. You can actually see the new acacia tree in the background, and that, I think, is a bigger selling point for me. This is a better looking acacia tree than we had in the base game existing, and you also see a ton of the new plants. You have this kind of like goldish grass. You have these new reeds with like the purple flowers on the end. So I think these are all going to be really, really useful in decorating your like grassland environments. It also appears we might I think that might be a faux rock with like a weird lighting, but like that could be a new rock. I doubt it though. I think that's just the faux rock. Same thing, we see more of like that goldish grass, spread out here through the emu. Baby emus look really adorable, and I really like the emu personally. I think it looks really good. They did a lot of really good detail on the fluff on the neck and stuff. I've had some people complaining about the emu aesthetically. I think it's fine. I don't... What do you want? You got an emu, you know what I mean? Like... it's better than the mod, is like all I can say. And so we have an official emu. I think that's good enough. Then here we have just the campaign mission. The zoo's a little bit lacking, but I actually do like the environment. I think I might steal it. I think this might even be a new skirt, so we might be able to look at that and like just destroy the buildings, and then this will be a nice little like Sonora Desert skirt, which is cool. And then, like I said, the armadillo, absolutely gorgeous. I love the detailing, hands down my favorite. And then the blue wildebeest. Now again, this is an animal I personally love. I love this pack, for the record, everyone. I know I usually roast a lot of them. I roasted Twilight. I even roasted Conservation to an extent just because of how it was like executed, but I like the animals in Conservation. And I hated Wetlands. I really don't like Wetlands to this day. Pretty much the only one that immediately comes to mind is like I liked was the Asco and the Capybara. The rest, I think, were either stuff that, is cool, like the platypus, but like they're not in zoos. And then just there was a bunch of stuff that made no sense, like the Nile Lechwe and stuff. But those same people that praised the Nile Lechwe are now dunking on the blue wildebeest. And that confuses me because even though I can say not a single soul asked for the Nile Lechwe, a good portion of people asked for the blue wildebeest. Every single animal, at some point or another in this pack, was requested for one reason or another. Whether that was striped hyena because it was in Zoo Tycoon 2, or the maned wolf, obviously, is the #1 thing. The caracal because it's one of the, more unique smaller cat species. The wallaby was a thing that was requested heavily during Australia, because everyone had been going, well, if they're going to make the kangaroo rig, they need to reuse it. And guess what? They're finally doing that. It's just not in the way you thought. And so I think this is what's all interesting about this pack, is just, it's giving us what we expected, just in a different way. And so what does this mean for the future? Just kind of summarizing everything. I do think we're getting more DLCs. So I think immediately the first DLC that comes to mind is an Islands DLC, and that's probably going to include, at minimum, the big 4 that I think everyone's been asking for. So, #1, Fusa, Tree Kangaroo, Tasmanian Devil, and I think they would choose kiwi. Just because, again, the bird people are foaming at the bits right now. The bird people are going crazy, and if it means giving them a kiwi to, you know, satiate them a little bit, then so be it. But they really want flying birds, and so I think where we're getting the flying birds is probably going to be in either that Islands DLC, with maybe like a parakeet landing as the exhibit animal, like, you know, like a parakeet feeding thing. Or the other option is in a tropical DLC that I assume at this point would have a South American porcupine, a sloth, red river hog, you know, all of those animals that people have been asking about. Some of the primate species, stuff like that. That one could also have different macaw species. Because I do think the 5, you know, colorful butterflies kind of indicates they might be doing that, where maybe to kind of counteract the, you know, you're getting a lesser animal because it's an exhibit animal, we're going to give you more of them to compensate, and they're going to be reskins. So that's possible that they're going to be like, well, you're only going to get a macaw, but it's going to be all the macaws. You're going to get scarlet, blue and gold, military, etc. all at once because they're just reskins. Yay! I think that might be the way to do it, and it's probably smarter because, again, practically, even if they made an entire pack that's just birds, right? If they just said, we're going to be making a, you know, 7-8 bird pack, it's not going to be good enough. So I'm kind of glad that they want to do just one at a time. I think that's the better way to do it. But I hope that you all enjoy today's video, and I will see you next time.